Usually you find one piece, not all three together. They've even got their little corks sticking out of their butts. All right, well, today we are in Hanover, Pennsylvania. I know that seems abrupt because we were just in Ohio, but this is kind of like a little, just inserting it in. We are in Hanover. We're outside the Goodwill, and we're about to head in and see what we can find to buy and flip for a profit. And then tomorrow, we might be back in Ohio. I don't know. All right, so here we go. Hey, look, there's paint by numbers. 2 of them. Back. Ah, look at that. A German Shepherd and a Collie dog. $2.99 for the pair. I'm a little concerned about that $2.99, but I think we're gonna give it a shot. So, paint by numbers do surprisingly well for what they are. I would have never in a million years expected that those could be sold for resale, but there's a market for them. I'm gonna stick them in there. What in the world is this? I'm very confused by it. It's Avon. There's doves attached to it. It's very wild. FTD. So that's not something I want to buy for resale. And what's under this tin? Grass. There's grass under that tin. Alright, see what else we can find. Kind of like the florals there. What do we have here? Kind of like that plate. This is Mite. Staffordshire, England. I like the pattern on that, but it's just a single. I'm trying to not pick up single plates unless there's something absolutely extraordinary, and that is not extraordinary. These look like little baby quails. Very lightweight for what it is. Here are some canisters with red eagles. I love canisters, but I don't really love those. And I think that these are coconut shells. I kind of really like this box because it just glows. You can see, you could actually see the glow against my hand. It's $1.99. I'm not even really quite sure what the purpose is, but you could display something on top of it. Like matches my nails. It almost looks like it's making my nails glow, as a matter of fact. I'm gonna grab that just because it's really neat looking. Who's this pretty lady? She's got her goose. She's made of resin, I think. Made to look like wood? I can't tell. I think so. I think she's made of resin. This mermaid is pretty. She's missing one of two. She seems to be missing a lid or something there. Let's see what else is down here. I love those cats. But it's a note. Mary, you are always my friend. It's a note to Mary. I thought that maybe that was something, but I think it's just contemporary. It's $2.99. This is nice. I like the gold on that. It's RJ, or maybe RYH, $1.99. Just not really seeing a whole lot today. I got here a little later than I normally do, and I think that that's kind of messing me up. This is USA. This kind of makes me think maybe Shawnee, possibly. It's $2.99. That's probably worth picking up. So this right here is interesting. It looks like it has a repair there on the base, so I'm not going to pick it up. But I was thinking that maybe this was I thought that maybe this was a punch bowl stand, but I'm not really sure at this point. I'm not going to grab it though. There's some art glass for $2.99. I think those could probably be used as votives. Little melt glass. That's kind of neat. That kind of strikes me as Avon, but I'm not sure. And there are two of them. There's another one creeping back there. This has extreme damage. Like, they really loved it because they pieced it back together. I kind of like the looks of this. And oh my gosh, is it ever heavy. I thought I might be able to pick it up with one hand. What is this? This is Home and Garden for $3.99. Kind of like the looks of it, but for Home and Garden, I don't think there's probably a whole lot of value there. Probably think something I could maybe make a little bit of money on in my booth as a contemporary planter, but I don't need it. I've got enough stuff to stick in my booth, so I'm gonna just keep on going. We're gonna mosey on along this direction and see what we've got over here. At first I thought this was lucite, but then all the things on the inside started moving and I realized that that's not actually lucite. This looks like Avon. They've got a lot of Avon here today. I'm actually kind of like, wow. Don't really need any or want any Avon. I've never really done well with it in the past and don't really have a whole lot of interest in it. Alright, so I decided to do a little creeping here in the Christmas. See if there's anything here. This is really wild. This is extremely lightweight. Made in the Philippines. That makes sense. Very lightweight. What is this over here? Does this... Oh. This snowman is missing its head. So that's a shame. I figured we'd at least poke through the Christmas since now there are shelves dedicated to it. Here's a little kitty shaker for $1.99, but I think that this shaker is supposed to have a dog with it. If I recall, I think it's like a yellow dog and a black cat that goes together. I think I've had them before, but unfortunately there's only a black cat, and I'm not going to pick up just one shaker and not the other. This is really cool. This has got a little bit of vintage flair to it with all of the... I can't tell if those are stickers or if those are original. They seem kind of like stickers, but I don't know. What even... Yeah, maybe they are stickers that somebody applied. It is really cool, though. There might be something there. You know what? I might stick that on knickknacks. I went on a listing spree on knickknacks last night, and I actually made 2 sales, which was really exciting. 2 sales early this morning after listing 12 things last night, so I'd say that's pretty good. So I will list that and see what happens. Beautiful cakes. I just really love the graphics of this. It's definitely a vintage cake decorator. It wants to pop out of there. It's really fun that it's all complete and it has the original box and all the graphics on there. I've looked these up before though, and I remember they don't have a very high resale value. That's why I'm leaving it behind. Check out all of this Fiesta ware. So they have the gray for $3.99. One of the ways that you used to be able to tell was that the lowercase f, was indicative of the older Fiesta. But I think they brought back the lowercase f, so that's not always a telltale sign anymore. But I do like the gray. I feel like the gray is an older color. I think they also brought back this aqua color. So I really love this chartreuse, $4.99. You can see the color is that green, which is really nice. Oh boy, they're very, very tempting. I just don't know my colors well enough to know which ones are retired, because I know the retired colors do better than the newer colors. That's kind of pretty. 222 5th Studio, Indonesia. And what is this in the back? Last time I was here, I found a pool toy, and the artist also made this spongeware, but obviously this is made in China, so probably not the same artist. Down here, we have some jam jars. There's a lot of chipping on the edges, so probably not something I'm going to pick up. $3.99 on this, which is probably contemporary, but also it's a mushroom. And mushrooms just sell really well for me, so I'm going to pick up this mushroom jar for $3.99. only because it's a mushroom. Here are some salt and pepper shakers. This is actually a complete set. Sometimes it's like an extra, like there's a condiment jar in the center and it's missing that piece, but this is complete. It's $2.99, made in Japan. And I think I'll grab that. A little bit of light chipping on it. Well, even, actually, I think that's just where there was a glaze miss. So I'll stick that in there as well. It's got a little bit of age to it. And I'm going to backtrack because this is super cool. I think that's an ashtray. Patriotic ashtray, $3.99. Maybe I'll grab that as well. I think it may be a hobbyist. Like somebody just decided to glaze it green. The lid comes on and off, but here at this Goodwill they actually use rubber bands, which I really like because you don't have to worry about packing tape pulling off the paint. So it's actually quite nice that they use rubber bands. I don't see any other salt and pepper shakers that I'm really drawn to, but I'm going to grab those. Alright, well I have scoured the Christmas here and I came up with this little guy. He seems to be handmade. There's no markings or signatures on him. I think I'm going to grab it. There goes some Christmas trees up to the front. Alright, so we've got a nice little collection here. I'm going to keep going for a little while longer. I did say they rolled out a fresh cart, so we'll check the aisles another time. See if there's anything fresh out here. I missed my first pass. I like this candle holder, but I wish there was two. There is a collection of milk glass. I think these are, yeah, those are decanters that are missing their lids. I think those are Jim Beam. $4.99. No lids. It's kind of a bummer. I just picked one up a few weeks ago that actually had the stopper on it, and it's actually worth $18 to $24 with the stopper, but without the stopper I don't even think it's worth picking up. That looks like it could be Italian. It's a shame that Italian pottery just has this tendency to chip all along the edges, which is evidence here. See all that chipping? Just gonna leave that behind. This is actually what caught my eye. I think this is probably just made in China or something, but I absolutely love all of that bling. And what is this thing? Elgin. It's kind of fancy. Let's see if we can pop that open. Oh, it's a little compact. It's actually makeup. I think. Maybe? Yeah, I think it's a makeup compact of some sort. And it has an Elgin watch on the front. I'm not really sure what's going on there. So I spotted this apartment 56 Inglenook Cottage, and I was a little curious. I always look up Department 56 stuff because I know some of it can be worth really good money, especially the Halloween. So this is Seasons Bay First Edition Inglenook Cottage number 5. So I decided to look it up. Here we have, here it is. Department 56 Christmas Seasons Bay First Edition number 5 in the box, sold for $6.99. But this was, somebody put it to auction, and that may have been a mistake because it sold for $6.99. Here's another one. This was buy it now. This sold for $20.40. So here's one without a box, sold for $24. I think they're right around retail. Not including that auction listing because I try not to include those. Sometimes people just get a little overconfident with their auction abilities. So that makes me a little reluctant to even look up the second one. Probably full retail, so it's not worth it. What's back here? Let's look at this. What does it look like? little miniatures, but there's a few floaters in the bag, which means that a few things were broken, unfortunately. I like the design on that, but there is some chipping on the edges. Alright, well, I'll get back to you guys when I find something else. It's made out of like a balsa wood. It's very lightweight. I think those are Avon. They sure are. Somebody's Avon collection, I'm telling you. There's a little bit of Glassware. I really love that pattern. So I think I'll grab that. $3.99. Doesn't see any chips or cracks on it. And $3.99. No chips or cracks. Kind of goes with the whole color scheme we have going here today. There you go. I wonder if those are Target birds. They have a tag on them. This is the Goodwill tag. As I've talked about before, I know some of the Target birds can be worth money. This guy's crunchy. I don't know if those are the Target birds, so I think I'm going to leave those behind. Walmart makes similar birds that aren't the Target birds, and I know that they're impersonators. Kind of like that, $1.99. Gonna leave it though. What in the world are these guys? They almost look like carved wooden nativity figurines. I think that's exactly what they are. Do they have baby Jesus? Oh, they do have baby Jesus. Look, he's right there. There's even a baby Jesus in there. I wonder if those are worth anything. Huh. Oh, well, they are $29. Ooh. Okay, never mind. I might have considered it at $9.99, but I think that's a little, like, $20 over what I would have considered it at, because I just don't know enough about it. This little grouping here is adorable, and I'm willing to pay $3.99 for it. Just for that little Kissy Santa right there. Kissy Santa sold it, and then little wooden Santa there was also a contender. So we're gonna grab that. Alright, so I'm doing the rounds because they're restocking, and I just stumbled across this cutie. Here we've got all 3 pieces, which is not very common to find in the Goodwill. Usually you find 1 piece, not all 3 together. They've even got their little corks sticking out of their butts. There we go, that's a win. So this is $3.99 for all 3 pieces. I don't know who makes this. Let's check real quick. Oh, there's no markings on that, but that's delightful. I can't believe we found not only the tree, but all of the little goobers hanging off the tree. So we're gonna stick it in there. Alright, I can't ignore this. This is epic. It's $6.99. I just feel like it's a contemporary something or other. I just love the color of it. That's why my eye keeps going to it, because it's just such a great color. But also, I don't know, $6.99. I think I'm gonna walk away from it because I think it's contemporary. This is studio pottery. There's 3 pieces here. $4.99 on the biggest. So whatever this is here, this is really fancy. You can tell it's a really nice cut glass. It has a cloth original cord. It does need a new cord. You can see there's no outlet on it. Here we are, mesmerized by lamps. You can tell that it's cut glass because the edges just seem a little sharp. There's just pressed glass where they're a little bit rounded because it's pressed. This is outstanding. There's no markings. Probably the markings would be under the glass. But this is amazing. How much is it? I should probably ask myself that. $7.99. Okay, no brainer. We're gonna grab it. Needs a new cord. It's probably something I could rewire if I wanted to. Also, I'm like, do I really want to get into this? I could probably sell it as is, or I could, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Maybe I'll get into rewiring here in the next few days. I'll rewire some lamps. Alright, I'm creeping in the bin. Let's see what's in here. I see a piggy. Oh, never mind. It's a bunny. $2.99 on the bunny. I'm gonna leave the bunny though. Looks modern. $2.99. That's just a creamer. I'd love to have the sugar that goes with it. Be careful digging through here. Oh, here. This is kind of nice. That's blue. That is an inverted strawberry pendant for $2.99. That's not bad. Oopsies. Little frog. There are a ton of odds and ends in here. Alright. I think I'm happy with that inverted strawberries. And I'm kind of curious what they have down on the bottom. There's Elmo. Alright. I think that's it for me. Alright, well I decided to grab this little girl playing this instrument. Oh, hey. Wait a second. If you guys remember, I talked about looking up, squirrel. I talked about looking up the Hallmark ornaments, highest to lowest, what sells for the most money. Star Wars was at the top of that list as far as Hallmark goes. And so here's a Hallmark ornament. I should look this up. I should look this one up. Alright, I gotta move my cart out of the way. People are zooming through this place. I'm gonna look this one up, but also I'm gonna throw these in my cart because she's just so darling. Both of these are $2.99. So they have $9.99 on this particular ornament. Looks like eBay average is 15, Poshmark is 12. So they're full retail on that. So that does me no good. But it was exciting. It was an exciting moment because when I looked up the Hallmark ornaments, it did show that the Star Wars tends to be the highest. But it has to be the right Star Wars. That was the wrong Star Wars. So, alright. I think I'm good. I think I'm going to get out of here. I think I've been here long enough. You can see I got my basket. Usually by the time I'm done, I get a basket. And then that's my signal. I'm ready to go. All right. Well, thank you for joining me today at the Goodwill of Hanover. I feel like we had pretty decent luck today. We didn't hit it out of the park, but we got a few good buys that I know we can buy and flip for a profit, and that is the name of the game. I think my favorite find of the day was probably that inverted strawberry that we grabbed there at the end out of that bin. That was pretty decent, but I'm gonna end it now. Hopefully I will have these items listed on knickknacks.net as buy it now, so you guys can scoop in there and grab them. But make sure you go and check out knickknacks.net. It's doing pretty well, and I think we're gonna start approving new sellers here shortly. I know I said November 26th, but I'm feeling like we might start approving members sooner than that, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, I'm gonna end the video here, and I guess I'll see all of you tomorrow. So long.